Hello and welcome to Tutorials again. Now today we are going to be doing a request. We had a comment posted on our channel here by ugomama. Yeah, you get points for the name. And he or she, you don't know, you never know, wanted to make a campfire. Ooh, spooky. Okay, and maybe add some embers into the simulation. Well, you don't do the embers in FumeFX, but we can do it. Yes, you've said that. It has to be done in the particle system. Yes, well done. Yes, you assume correctly, ugomama. Yes, let's get to it then, ladies and gentlemen. So, since it's a campfire, we want logs, so let's make some. At the moment, we're just going to go for basic cylinders. We're not going to do anything fancy pants at the moment. I'm just going to not make it too big or anything. So there we go. We have a log. And now, we're going to press M. Now, I pressed N instead. You want to press M for mama in ugomama. Okay. If you don't have this material editor, you can go to modes and slate material editor, and this will bring up this material editor, and this is more of a nodal based one, so you just drag your stuff around like that. Oh, I don't like it. So let's just go back to compact. So we're just going to drag this standard material onto the cylinder, and we're going to press show material in viewport. So we're going to go down to maps and diffuse, and we're going to add a gradient ramp. There we go. Aha, but it looks funny. I mean, look at that. Half of it, we don't want that. We don't want that at all. So we just, I'm going to move that out of the way. We're going to go to modifiers, modify list, down to U, and go a UV map. Still, not what we want. So we want a cylindrical map. There we go. Still looks weird, doesn't it? Just you wait. Let's drag the material thing across. And then we are going to click right here and drag that across. There we go. Let's drag it somewhere about there. There we go. Now, it's at an angle. We don't want that, so we're going to go into there and type minus 90. So now it's facing the right way. There we go. So now we have made a cylinder which half is black, except for that bottom bit. We can fix that in a bit. And half is white. Now to fix that bottom bit, we go to the gizmo. And I'm just going to go to press R and scale it just a tad. There we go. So now the bottom is black, top is white. That's what we want. It's good. It's all good. Just going to come out of that. Come out of that. Come on. There we go. Now there's a little bit of some funky gradient going on there, as you can see in the material editor. So I'm just going to click in that black one and then move that across. So now the gradient is a little less smooth, but there's a difference between black and white. Now we're just going to click on the other side of here and make sure that's white. Here we go. So now we have an obvious gradient. There we go. So we're just going to close that for now, and then we're going to just reposition a few of these. So just select the cylinder. Now before we do that, I'm going to hold shift on both of these and collapse all. Yes, and that just collapses and makes them a bit more nicer. You can't edit them once that's happened, but it keeps things tidy and gets rid of the gizmo. So we just hold shift and drag it across. And let's say 4. There we go. We now have 4 logs. So now we're going to reposition them by pressing E, which brings up the rotation tool. Lovely tool that is. Just gonna have some fun moving these around. You can never have too much fun rotating logs. Now I'm gonna try and get all of the. I'm gonna move that to the top view. Actually, no, I'm gonna keep that left. I'm gonna keep that the top view and go to shaded, just so I can see where all the white bits are, because we want all of them to be relatively close to each other, because the white bits is where the fire is going to be happening. Yeah. But I didn't expect that coming. You just thought we were doing some black and white logs, but no. Now that doesn't look realistic at all, does it? Yeah. Now you could, if you wanted to be ultra realistic, you could use a plugin like Rayfire or use React 3ds Max oh wow, I can't talk. Reactor, yes, the physics simulation tool, and then you would be able to make the logs fall into the positions that you want, which may be a lot easier for you than doing this. But anyway, let's just... There you go. It doesn't have to look that artistic and amazing, as long as we have a definitive point. So I'm going to move that point into the centre. There we go. Excuse me. Now we're going to get... Oh my! Excuse me! I've got a bit of a cold, so excuse me if I sound a bit dead. Oh, I need to... So we're going to add our FumeFX box of glory. Going to add that up. Going to make it kind of high, so we want the smoke to rise. And then we're going to go into helpers, FumeFX object source. We're going to drag it out. Just move it around a bit. And then we're going to press that, but to save us time clicking on each one, we're going to press H. This brings up a list. And then you can just click and drag over all of them. Boom, bada boom, we've selected them. Now, here we can change the map for where the fuel is emitted on the objects. So, we're going to change it to make sure it's on source from intensity. It would be on map is disabled. Make sure it's on source... Oh dear, excuse me. From intensity, there we go. So put that on fuel, temperature, and smoke. Colour, not too... Oh my, I don't know what's up with me today. Colour isn't too important. So, and I'm also just going to make sure the white bits are not below you... Yep, that's fine. Just going to make sure they're right below there. And you know what annoys me in 3ds Max? Those boxes around the edges. I'm going to press J just to get rid of that. I just find it annoying. There you go. So we're going to go into FumeFX, going to go to the GUI, and first thing I'm going to do, yep, I'm going to just set the place for where I want my FumeFX simulation to happen. So for the object, space warps, etc., we're going to select our object source, and we're going to select all of our cylinders. So basically what that does, this will be our fire, and selecting these allows the fire to interact with the logs. So it just doesn't go straight through them. So that's what we want. So now I'm going to open the preview window. I'm going to bring the simulation up a bit just so I can see what's happening. And nothing happens. Gotta love it. Maybe a bit more. Can't see anything. How about if we remove these? There we go. Okay, apparently it doesn't like it when the objects are there. I think it will probably remove them. So now I've just simulated a few frames. Oh, I'm in mental ray. That's not what we want. Haha, we forgot to do something. We forgot to do something very important. I'm just going to quickly change my rendering to scanline. I made a bit of a boo-boo here. We didn't set the map. So you press M, bring this back up, and then just drag that over, and then make it an instance. So if you change anything here, it changes it there. If it was a copy, it wouldn't change anything. You could change it in there, and it would do nothing. So keeping it an instance makes it a special copy. Clone of Doom. I don't know why it's a clone of Doom. Okay, now after that massive boo-boo, it should work. So let's just sim a few frames again. There we go. We've got the tips of the fire going nicely. So if we just do that and that, da-na-na-na, we now have fire only on the white bits. Now, I may, if we can find a good map, a good bitmap to use. Oh, we have anything woody? Woody, Toy Story, gotta love that film. I'm just gonna change the material of the logs. Wow, that's beautiful. Let's just adjust the tiling a bit. Oh, that's a bit too much. Just adjust it so it looks nice. There you go. Now I'm going to fix the ends because they're kind of swirly and it looks like chocolate. Oh, but we can't! See, that's what you get. unless we add another UV modifier, which overrides the first one. Cylindrical, cap, ta-da! There we go. So we just do that for all of them. So I'm just going to copy. You don't have to do this, by the way. This is just me just wanting to be aesthetically pleasing. If you're really into this, you can... There we go, we got them all. You can add burnt textures to the ends. There we go, looking fine and dandy. Now let's sim up this female dog. Okay, into the sim, we're going to increase the sim size just so we can see what we're doing. We're going to go into here, and we're going to put the smoke down to 0.3. We don't want too much smoke. Smoky campfires are never good. Smoke your bacon up if you're cooking bacon, which I highly recommend. We're going to also add some turbulence, so 0.1 turbulence. Trust me, it's enough. I'm going to increase the detail on the turbulence and bring it down a little bit. A little bit more. See how that looks. Okay, let's see what happens when we sim this bad boy. Ooh, looks like we have some things happening on the end. That's not what we want. Not what we want at all. It may be because we added those UV modifiers, so if we just do a bit of undoing... Can't undo anymore. Jolly good. I'll just delete them. Delete. Are they all gone? Nope. Still there. Okay. Let's just redo all of that. So, size up. 0.1 turbulence. More detail. And then bring it down. And then we go into here. Drag it down. There's my smoke. There's my smoke. 0.3. Actually, 0.2. That'll be enough. Sim that again. There we go. Fixed it. I realised I didn't need to do all of that. I could have just scaled up the gizmos. Oh well. So, there we go. We have fire. We have fire! Man, create fire! Now, we want that to rise a bit, don't we now, kids? So, let's change the gravity. So if we lower the gravity, I know that's a bad idea because cars start to float up into the air, people fly away into space, but for the purpose of the sim, this is what we want. Actually not, no, it's not what we want. I have a better idea. We can add a wind to the scene. Ooh. So we go to space warps, yep, and then forces, wind. I'm just gonna, in the top viewport, right there. So we're just going to drag it to the side so we know which direction it's facing. And here we can find all the settings for the turbulence and stuff, but we don't need to do that yet. So we're going to go into here, pick object, pick my space warp, and sim that again. Hopefully the flames should rise a bit more now. I'm going to lower the thing, the spacing, just so I can speed it up. And I'm going to increase the wind. So you have to go into the wind, strength 3. It's a windy day on my campsite. Now isn't that odd? That's a bit too much turbulence, I would say. Quite a bit. So back into the sim. Right down. Getting into the 0.1s. There we go. Now you aren't raising as much as I'd like you to. No. Firstly, I'm going to increase the burn rate variation. Bring you down to 0.02. Bring you down a lot more. I'm going to change the fuel buoyancy to 0.6. Burn rate down to 22. It's all about messing with the settings. So you get something that looks nice and rises, which hopefully we're getting here. Now if we just stop that and just do a quick render, it's looking nice. I think we can risk increasing the spacing. Let's do the 370. Let's see how that looks. Ah, FumeFX. What am I going to do with you? Wasting my life away, waiting for the simulations. There we go. I had to shove it in the RAM first. All 6 gigs of it. I need more. I'm going to pause the recording here, and we're going to wait a while and see how this looks. After many years, I am back. I even made a sandwich, and that took long time. Actually, it's still stopping. Wow. There we go. Let's see how that looks. Oh, excuse me, that was my sandwich. Oh, that looks nice. Oh dear, I don't know what's going on with me today. Okay. Moving on. We have got the fire down and sorted. I'm just going to quickly load some awesome looking... Maybe not. Where did I put my... Ah, it's in the FumeFX. I'm going to load in a gradient for the fire, just so it looks a bit more realistic. And I'm going to turn on cast and receive shadows, and then I'm going to change it to keyless mode, and then I'm going to increase that. No. I'm going to go to the illumination, multiple scattering. Gonna check it and then just see how that looks. Oh, I forgot how long it takes to do scattering, but it looks nicer anyway. So, who wants some embers? I do. Okay, let's get particle up in this. So, we're gonna go back to the geometry and the create thing. Gonna go to particle systems, particle source, and in the top viewport, I'm just gonna drag it out over the center. My voice. Oh my. There we go. Just going to move that there. Oh, it's facing the wrong way. How dare you? Oh, my hiccups. Now it's completely facing the wrong way. Embers don't go down. Everyone knows this. So we're just going to mirror it. Y, Z. There we go. Got it right a second time. There we go. So no way. There we go. Embers. Done. That's what embers look like in real life. They just tiny grey points. Just go up for a bit and then stop. No, never mind. So we're going to make the viewport big, and then we're going to go to modify particle view. You can also press number 6, but we'll get to that later. Okay. What we want to do is I think we're going to have the fire start as if it was turning up. The fire was turning on at frame 0, so it's fine about it's. We're going to leave the particles emitting then. We just don't want them to stop at frame 30 though, so we're going to birth 100. There we go. So speed, we don't need rotation, we're going to delete that, and we don't need shape. Display dots. There we go. Actually, we do want shape. We do. Shape. Sphere. 20 sides. Scale. Bring up a bit. And then we have to put it to geometry. There we go. Embers. Nah, that's just kidding. We're going to scale that way down. There we go. Now we can add a material to this, so I'm just going to drag that across, and I'm going to zoom in to one of these points. Then press M, and let's add a nice. That's not nice. Orangey material. Oh, it doesn't work. I think we must add a material static. Side material, standard. Yes, there we go. If we just drag that in there, instance. Why you no work? How very odd. You know, I think we might just go... Ah! It works! I'm not sure what happened there. I think I may have to double click on that. Okay, never mind. So let's just close the material and go back to that. And I'm going to zoom out so we can see what we're doing. I may scale them down a bit more as well. They just seem a bit too big. So go to Shape, Scale. And we may want to add a bit more, but we can do that later. So let's check the speed of these bad boys. A bit fast, so let's bring that down a bit. There you go, variation. Add some variation, there we go. Okay. Now we need some turbulence. So, let's add another wind. And this won't affect the fire, and this doesn't affect that because we haven't added it. I can't even talk today. Haven't added it to this. So, yes. We're going to go to helpers, space warps, forces, wind. Just going to do the same again, drag it that way. There we go. Now this time we're going to add some turbulence. So just going to drag that up to 2, let's say. Then we go back to here, add a force, doesn't matter where you put it. Add wind. There we go. Now then that should be a lot faster, which is not what we want at the moment. So then we can go and go into that wind. Strength. Ah, no, we can just change the speed. Silly me. There we go. Those are looking nice. We may want a bit more turbulence. So then let's just... Oh, well, actually not. We don't want that much turbulence. We may bring the speed down. Hang on, why is that minus? We've set the speed to minus numbers. But then that's good because that's slowing it down against the strength of the wind. So let's set that down a bit more. Speed down even more. 0.1. -1. Even. Not doing much. So then let's just bring the strength down a little bit. Add a bit more turbulence, I'd say. There we go. So now let's just add a few more particles. That's bringing it down and up. And plus it's not, you can't even see them. Just going to add them up in the birth window. There we go. I'm going to go back into the material. I'm going to press M. And I'm going to give it some self-illumination. So that it glows, hopefully. Now the fire has stopped because it didn't sim that far. Let's find where we simmed up to. There we go. I think we may want to bring the saturation down on those particles. Let's have a look. Excuse me. Yeah, there we go. We have some embers. Yes. So saturation. So we're going to go to M. Bring the sat down. Same with that. There we go. So now they just look a bit bright. And I'm also going to scale them down. They seem too big still. So I'm going to press 6. That'll bring that up again. Going to go to shape. Scale them down to 0.012. There we go. That looks a little better now. I'm also just going to make it Make the frame slightly more pleasing to look at. There we go. Oh yeah, and just leave that to render. Now, blur of the motion. We want some motion blur. So, to do that, I'm sure if it's not this, then we're gonna have to go into After Effects, but that's fine. We right-click. I'm gonna do it on everything. I'm gonna highlight everything. Right-click, Object Properties, Image Motion Blur. I'm gonna set it to 0.3. That's my magic number. And hopefully the particles will be blurred. Let's see. Preparing objects. Multiple scattering. Why you the bane of my life? Nope. Did nothing. I have an idea. Okay, we're gonna have to do the motion blur in After Effects, but that's simple enough. So anyway, back to these embers. I'm gonna press 6, and I'm gonna change the life of them. So we're gonna add a delete modifier to them, but then that deletes them. So we're gonna do by particle age. There we go. I'm just gonna bring this along so I can see what I'm doing. Now, lifespan. Gonna bring it down. Bring it down. There we go, 14 frames, so now they should stop emitting. Actually no, a bit lower. Let's say 8. And then bring that variation down to about 3 frames. Ooh, thunder. Now that's a bit too much, not enough, so I'm going to bring that up. There we go. Oh, excuse me. There's a bit of thunder going on outside. I'm kind of scared. I'm not really, it's fine. Okay, I'm going to go into the renderer. Well, it looks like the motion. Yeah, it looks like I'm gonna have to do motion blur in After Effects. I'm not sure what's going on with this. Just make sure that's that's fine. Okay. Okay, so I've rendered out the campfire, and just the embers on separate videos. Oh my voice! Oh, I'm losing my voice. How dare I? So I'm gonna. In After Effects, I'm just going to drag this into a new comp. I'm going to drag it out so you can see we have embers here and campfire here. I didn't render a lot, or simulate a lot, but it does look nice. It looks nice, doesn't it? So I'm going to press F4. I'm going to set the embers to add. That way it blends nicely. Now I think the embers are a bit fast, so I may re-render them sometime. But to do the motion blur, we're going to go to Effect, Time, Force Motion Blur. And then we adjust. Oh wow, it doesn't like that one at all. What if we pre-compose this, because maybe because they're too fast. Remove all attributes. Add it again. Motion blur. It really doesn't like that motion blur, does it? It's too fast, I'm afraid. Now, you could, if there's no camera move, you could use the particle systems in After Effects to do the particles. But if you're doing, if you want camera movement, then you're probably gonna want there to be some particles in our 3ds Max, so that the move is exactly the same. So there we go. That's campfires for you. The embers just need to be slowed down a bit just to match the fire. It's easy if you render it out and then have a look, because as I can see from this, way too fast. And you may, oh dear, excuse me, to roughen up the edge of the burn just to make it look a bit more natural. So that is campfires for you. If you want to suggest any more tutorials we should do, comment on our channel, send us a message, comment below, and we shall see what we can do. So, ugomama, I hope this helped, and have fun having a campfire. Go roast some marshmallows.